we have is an instrument. Like all the other organs, brain is an organ, and that organ is used to think. Isn't it?
So silence is result of understanding.
Silence is result of understanding means when the doer and the thinker both are silent. That means the consciousness has come back from the doer and the thinker and to its own natural state, where there is no thinking and no doing. It comes to that state which is called a silent state.
So silence is beyond understanding.
Yes, silence is a natural state. You see,
Nature of consciousness.
nature of consciousness. It's a natural state. Like blissfulness is a natural state. Silence is a natural state. This is the natural state of consciousness. So when there is no thinking and when there is no doing, where are you?
This is silence.
Where are you? Is there any understanding in that silence?
But it means that wherever this training of silence or few days in silence or some kutia and this sit silently there, this is either wrong understanding, otherwise wrong experience.
You don't judge that it is wrong or right. We have to understand that what we want actually. What are you trying to get through silence? My question is this.
Silence means no thought, no mind, no language.
So when you sit for silence, I want to be silence is also a thought.
If you want. If you don't want,
Otherwise, how can you sit?
here.
Otherwise, how can you sit?
Just like relax where we sit, enjoy.
But there is no purpose, then it is a natural state.
This
So there is no purpose of going into
Not
silence.
trying.
You see,
But even sometimes we just close our
but that
eyes.
naturally happens.
This is my
So you have not to go for 5 days silence or 3 days silence.
not trying, not a
So each moment, whenever there is no doing which is demanded by life, whenever there is no thinking demanded by life, you are already into the natural state of silence.
Okay. Now only my one question. I don't know English, so
Okay, okay.
આજે તમારો જન્મદિવસ, તમારા બુદ્ધત્વને મારા શત પ્રણામ. તો મારી જે આદત છે બોલવાની, કંઈક પૂછવાની, એ પ્રમાણે હું કહીશ કે બુદ્ધ ભગવાને 6 વર્ષ ખૂબ મહેનત કરી અને એક દિવસે થાકી ગયા અને કહ્યું કે બસ ઘટવું હોય તો ઘટે, ન ઘટે તો મને કંઈ લેવા દેવા દે. આ છેલ્લો તારો છે, હું જોઉં છું અને આંખ બંધ થશે તો બંધ થશે, ખુલશે તો ખુલશે, સવાર પડશે તો સવાર પડશે. આજ પછી મારી ડિઝાયર ફિનિશ થઈ ગઈ. અને એ જ સવારે અર્લી મોર્નિંગમાં આ સ્ટેજ આવવાથી એમને ઘટના ઘટી. એ જ રીતે ઓશોએ એમના એનલાઇટનમેન્ટની વાત કરી કે ભાઈ સદીઓથી હું શોધતો હતો, ખૂબ મેં મહેનત કરી અને એક દિવસ થાકી ગયો અને બધી બેચેની અંદર શરૂ થઈ અને એક રાતે મને ખ્યાલ નહોતો. એવી જ રીતે એક ગાર્ડનમાં મારે જવાનું બન્યું. ત્યાં હું બેઠો અને આપોઆપ જ મને મારું પુનઃસ્મરણ થયું, અનાવૃત થયું કશું. એવી રીતે આપના જીવનમાં એવું તમે કંઈ કહી શકો ખરા કે ભાઈ આ કિરણ જૂનો અને આ દિવસથી આ કિરણને કંઈક એવું થયું કે જે સ્મરણ બંધ હતું આટલા જન્મોથી એ એનું ખુલી ગયું અને ત્યારથી એ સાથે જ છે. અચ્છા, બીજો એની સાથે સાથેનો એક પ્રશ્ન એ કે જ્યાં સુધી મેં વાંચ્યું છે, લોકો કહે છે કે ભાઈ 5મી બોડી હોય, 6ઠ્ઠી બોડી હોય, 7મી બોડી હોય. કેટલાક લોકો આત્મા ઉપર અટકી જાય, કેટલાક લોકો બ્રહ્મ ઉપર અટકી જાય, કેટલાક લોકો શૂન્ય થઈ જાય. તો આવી કોઈ સ્ટેજ હોય છે ખરી? અથવા હોય કે ન હોય, તમે ક્યાં છો? જો તમને ક્યારે એવો અનુભવ થયો ખરો કે હજી કંઈક ખૂટે છે કે આનાથી આગળ કશું હોઈ શકે, અથવા બસ આ એન્ડ છે, અથવા જે તમને અનુભૂતિ કે જે કંઈ હોય એ રોજ રોજ પ્રતિક્ષણ વધતું જાય છે, ખુલતું જાય છે, રહસ્યમય બનતું જાય છે કે એન્ડ જેવું લાગે છે, અથવા એમ થાય કે ના મને તો અલ્ટિમેટ ઘટ્યું, અથવા આમ બધા કરતાં મને વધારે. તો તમારી જે અંદરની સ્ટેજ હોય એના વિશે અમને કંઈક
બહુ લાંબો સવાલ કર્યો.
જો આ જે હમણાં આ દોષ આમનો છે, કારણ કે એમણે મને કહ્યું આજે એમનો જન્મદિવસ છે, તો મેં કહ્યું એ દિવસે તો ખાસ પૂછવું જોઈએ.
The down one first. Right. I repeat the question in English. Today, it being my birthday, he was asking a question about that. First question he asked is that to share something about my enlightenment as Buddha has passed through this process and got some enlightenment experience or reached to that state. And he has referred to Osho also, that Osho also expressed in the same way. So what is my experience about it? That is what first question is. Normally I don't entertain this kind of question, because the danger of the answer, not to me by sharing what I had, but to the people who listen. Once upon a time, I was also sitting in front of Osho, listening to him about his enlightenment experience. And the misunderstanding that I created by listening to Osho or by reading Buddha's experience of enlightenment, and so many people describe this. I felt that it misleads to the listener in a way that it creates somewhere a goal. Enlightenment, when you describe as an experience to someone, is misunderstood as if the experience is enlightenment. You understand what I'm saying? When somebody describes the experience of enlightenment, the listener misunderstands the experience as the enlightenment, which I did by listening to Osho. Thousand sun explosion or mutation of mind, beyond mind, no mind state, a silent state, permanent silence, permanent bliss, permanent happiness. These are the words that I heard, I read, and defined enlightenment from my own level of understanding as if it is something to be achieved. And I was struggling so hard throughout my days of process to get to this experience, as if once I get to this experience, I am going to get the enlightenment. And this is the misunderstanding, which is a danger. Enlightenment is something like you wake up in the morning. Awakening in the morning, and through the awakening you experience so many things through your senses. When you wake up in the morning, you listen to the birds, you see the beautiful sky, the fresh air you breathe, the touch of cool wind. If someone asks you, what is the experience of your awakening? If you want to describe it, then how will you describe? You will say, when I woke up, it was beautiful sunrise, the sky was very colorful, the birds were singing. The one who is not awake, if he listens, the misunderstanding will be, if I listen to the birds, if I see this beautiful sky, the sunrise, then I am awake. So his direction in the effort to get to the experience of sunrise, experience of birds singing, without understanding what it means by awakening. Now, is it the awakening is seeing the sunrise or listening to the birds, or awakening is different? Through the awakening you experience all. But can you experience awakening? The awakening in you at that moment is not separate. There is no experiencer separate to experience the awakening first, and then through the awakening you experience all the experiences. You get me? So there is a misunderstanding possible, and that misunderstanding leads the person who is not awake in the wrong direction of getting the experience, rather understanding the awakening. It's a subtle thing. Awakening is our natural state. It is not something a result of your effort into the sleep. Nobody in the morning has awakened because he has done a lot of effort into the sleep. Is there anybody can tell me that he made a lot of efforts into the sleep to wake up and that's why he got awake? It is not the result of your effort. It is coming back to your natural state. Isn't it? So this awakening is coming back to your natural state, and through this natural state you experience all. And that is why when I was misled and I had no understanding, listening to Osho or reading Buddha or all these enlightened masters' description of experience, I am not in favor of sharing the experience or the moment that you are asking me, because I am trying to make you understand what it means by awakening, and then through the awakening you might be getting any kind of experience that is of no importance at all. If you are in a hill station, you will experience the beautiful mountains. If you are on a beach, you will experience the beautiful ocean. Experience will be different. At which sense point you are available, you get the experience of that sense point at that moment. But the awakening is totally different phenomena. It's a total different phenomena. And what I am trying to share is to bring you to make you understand that what it means by awakening, keeping aside all the experiences and hammering on the people who are emphasizing enlightenment with the experience. Most of the people into this spiritual market now, the holy business now, are claiming themselves enlightened by giving some description of enlightenment experience, and you listen and you also get the desire to get to that experience, and that misleads you. That is the misleading point, in which I avoid. But if I want to share something, I would say that the experience which you are asking me, as I don't give any importance to the experience, I don't remember also. But I would tell you that in my life, the way which I took to get to the natural state was not through the mind. I was trying in a different point where automatically the mind starts dissolving without doing something to the mind. When you are sitting for silence, when you are doing meditations or using any technique, any spiritual technique, you are still using the mind. Mind means a desiring point, a doer point. Desire leads to the doing. Acceptance, which I call it a Sufi understanding, is a very different way of approach to the natural state. But this acceptance is not the acceptance of the cowards that they accept in the end. Normally, we all accept. We know about acceptance. Everybody has in their life accepted at certain point. But if you look to your life, you have accepted in the end when you are not successful, when you are tired, when you are helpless, when you are hopeless by doing something and not getting what you want. In the end, you say that, okay, now I accept. Now I accept. So acceptance to a normal person is in the end. The acceptance to a Sufi understanding is a different understanding. It is in the beginning. It is in the beginning means you understand something and that understanding results into acceptance. So what is that understanding which I am trying to share every day, every time? The understanding has to be through your observation. Observation means not through the frames of your knowledge, but a clear observation without the frame of knowledge. Just the way it is happening. Look at the life the way it is happening. And when you start observing the life around you, you understand through the observation that the nature of life, the way life functions. The understanding includes the nature of life, means it is changing and moving. Through your own observation, you will understand that the life which we are asked to respond every moment around us, each moment life demands your response, your attention, your action. This life which you are passing every moment, which is flowing around you, demands your response and attention. And when you observe this life, the way it is functioning, you observe the nature of life. You look around. Look to the nature, look to the animals, look to the birds, look to your own life, look to the whole people around. Observe. Not with a ready-made answer that you get the answer that it is way, this is the way. No, just like a child. Look at it. In that observation, looking at, you understand the nature of life. The first understanding is, it is all the time changing and moving. It is never stagnant. And the other understanding of life, you understand that the life is insecure. Each moment what life is flowing around you does not offer you any security. It is insecure. Through your own observation, you will understand the nature of life. It is insecure, uncertain, unknown. We have no understanding of the next moment, what is going to happen. So these are the nature of life, and each moment you are encountering it. You are facing it. So what are you facing? This life which is insecure, uncertain, unknown, changing and moving. Each moment you realize this, but you don't understand. Through your observation you will understand. Otherwise we all know it, but we don't understand it. And with this misunderstanding or non-understanding, we fight with it. Then your own observation again inside will tell you that why I am fighting with it. So I have a mind inside me. This mind which I have, a conditioned area of my brain through which I am functioning, through which I am trying to understand something. This conditioned part of me inside, my being inside, has a different nature. It is built up with a different nature. And the nature you will observe of this mind inside, which is a frozen area inside, a conditioned part which I carry, everyone carries, has a different nature. And that nature you will observe that it always rejects the way life functions. This is through your observation, you have to see it. And you understand that I have a mind. I have a part inside me which has a different nature than the nature of life. It has a nature not to accept. Not to accept. Always to say no. Always to fight. Always to demand change. Always to demand control. To possess. This is the nature inside me. This nature inside me, the nature of my mind, observe this. The moment that life creates some situations, look at inside, how it reacts. How it reacts. Immediately you will understand the nature of that part which reacts. It is absolutely against the nature of life. It demands security against the insecure nature of life. It demands certainty against the known certainty nature of life. It demands known future. I do not want to jump into unknown. I want all the clarity first, guarantee first. This is the nature inside. Now the observation tells you that this is the part which is inside me and this is the life which is outside me. If this is so, do I have a freedom to control it or change it? I tried my whole life to control the life, whole life to change the life outside, and I am not. I am not. And the spiritual people, if you are into this, then you have tried to change your mind. There also you will understand that you cannot change your mind also. You react the same way even if you are doing meditations for years. You react the same way. If you react the same way, then have I any freedom to change it? If there is a freedom to change, why I am not able to change by doing all these techniques and methods and meditations which I am practicing? Why I cannot change it? I can go with a hope that next day or maybe after a few years I am going to do it. But then, what about what you did? How many years you have been doing? I have been doing 15, 20 years of meditations, and I was observing myself that I react the same way. Though I may be very cunning not to show it, not to show to the people. I carry a face that I am a spiritual person. But inside me, if I look honestly, I could not. I react the same way. Maybe I am not expressing the reaction outside, but the inside reaction is the same. If somebody abuses me, there is going to be a reaction of anger. A beautiful woman passes by, there is going to be a reaction inside. Why then I am not able to control it? Why there is no change inside? Through your observation, you will understand that I have no freedom. I cannot change it. I cannot change the life outside because I have no control over it, and I cannot change the mind inside because I cannot change it. I have no control over it. And this is a misunderstanding which we have been told that you can control it. The people who are being told and those who are practicing with a misunderstanding that they can control the mind, they can change the mind, they can finish the mind, they are the spiritual people. And the people who are fighting outside to change the life are the worldly people. Worldly people can be successful in changing at certain point. But the spiritual people are utter failures. And they become more hypocrites. The worldly people are more honest. But the spiritual people are more hypocrites. They don't show up. Because they have to carry a face. The investment that you have made for years and years of meditations does not allow you to accept that I am the same. When you observe this, then the understanding results into acceptance. If I cannot change it, then the Sufi understanding tells you that accept it. Accept the way you are. Accept the way your mind is. Accept the way life is. So where you are, what you have, and what you are. What you are is your inner side. Accept it. Do not fight with it. Do not try to change it. Do not try to control it. Just the way it is. Accept the reaction that you have the reaction. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Accept it. So this acceptance is a different way of coming back to the natural state. What miracle happens inside, the consciousness which remains identified by non-acceptance and remains as a mind all the time desiring a change, either inside or outside, remains all the time in the state of mind. The consciousness becomes mind continuously and permanently if you are constantly into the non-acceptance, if you have no understanding. Because if you are understanding through your observation that you cannot change it, you cannot possess it, you cannot control it, this understanding brings you to the acceptance automatically. Automatically. If you are running and running and running, and certain point you are made realize or through your own experience that it does not reach to what you want to reach. At certain point you realize by yourself that you cannot go even little further. You are just running on the same point, coming back to the same again in the circle. Then your own understanding will create a stop by itself. So there is no necessary effort to stop, but your understanding will result into stopping. Acceptance is something like this. Before it was non-acceptance and struggling hard, fighting hard, making an effort to control, to possess. If you understand, it results into acceptance. You stop. Just stop. Zazen. Just there. So there is an action outside, there is a reaction, natural reaction inside. You are not trying to reject it at any point. This is the state of acceptance. What happens into this state of acceptance is the consciousness automatically gets detached from the identification or attachment to this doer part, automatically comes back to its natural state. You understand what I am saying? So it is not that you are making an effort to bring the consciousness to its natural state. Your inner state creates this situation by itself. The consciousness liberates itself from the identification because the non-acceptance keeps the mind survive. Keeps the mind survive. The acceptance suddenly creates a state inside where from doer you become a witnesser. Suddenly you start seeing the mind which is jumping inside, the reactions that is creating a force inside, you will start seeing as a separate entity, witnessing. But witnessing is not an effort to do something to witness. It is a clarity inside where it is reflected. It is reflected. So this slowly you are coming to this state of awakening. So this state of silence, a state of natural state of consciousness opens up slowly. In that opening there is something which is becoming clear, and then through the help of this brain area you translate what is clear. What is clear. So it is slow opening, like a flower flowering, petal by petal, petal by petal. And the flower, if you ask the flower that which is the time when you are flowered, which is the time, the flower will not answer you. The first petal opening is the beginning of flowering. And then each petal starts opening up. Each moment of witnessing, each event of coming back to your natural state, coming back to your home. Maybe out of 10 events in a day, you forget in 8 events. You go back to the mind again. Then experimenting with this understanding. Again and again, you forget, forgive yourself. Accept that also that you have forgotten. Accept that also. Don't go into the guilt. Don't hate yourself. Again observe that you forgot. Okay, fine. It's fine. So this I started experimenting. And this experiment slowly, petal by petal, I don't know when I got awake. A total flowering happened. That means a total clarity of something which is the truth, the way it is. It is not something what you can describe as an experience of something. But each petal opening has given me somewhere a clarity of something the way it is. The way it is means the mysteries of life's events. What exactly the way life behaves. It is started happening inside. The way inside the mind behaves. Why this mind behaves. What is the nature of mind? What is the structure of mind? What is the structure of ego? It is not through reading or through listening that you understand. This understanding grows. It is the growth of understanding. And certain point, it is a total growth. But then, there is nothing to claim. Because the more you are detached from the mind, there is nobody there who can claim. The one who claims is the mind, and the one who claims is the ego. When there is no mind, there is no ego. So when you coming back to your natural state slowly, there is a dissolution of mind and dissolution of ego by itself. So at this last point also, there is nobody who claims, but there is nobody there who exists. So what is there now is the existence of a functionary mind, a functionary ego, the way life demands the character to play. That's all.
But when you say, this Basho says, sitting silently, doing nothing, this is method or this also a result of understanding?
See, you are translating these words verbally. Sitting silently for you is sitting and silently sitting, doing nothing means not doing anything. So you cut off yourself from doing everything, and then you close the door of your room and sit silently into the room. This is your definition of sitting silent. Then it is a method, a technique. So that is what you understand by listening or by reading. Sit silently and do nothing. And this spring comes and the grass grows by itself is your misunderstanding. No spring comes and no grass grows. You can sit for hours.
What is right understanding? What is right understanding?
Right understanding is if you really reach to the level of understanding, then will you understand the right understanding. Sit silently means what? Drop all the effort is sitting silently. Are you dropping the effort? Even your sitting silence also is an effort. When you drop all the effort, that creates a state of you are already sitting silently. Effortless. Desireless. So when you desire to sit silently, it is not sitting silently. If you are making an effort to sit silently, it is not sitting silently. When you are not actually making any effort, that is no effort state, is a state of silence. In that state of silence, do nothing. That means it's same.
Everything is
happening. So then in that state, everything is happening. And if you are really into the state, the spring really comes. That state, spring means the state inside of joy, the bliss, the spring. It comes by itself. And the grass of joy, the grass of happiness, the grass of silence grows by itself. But you are trying to grow by yourself, isn't it? When you are doing sitting silently and you are cutting off yourself from doing everything, thinking that if I don't do anything and sit silently, the spring will come and the grass will grow. You wait for the grass to come. And years pass by. No grass grows.
Everything, both thing itself.
Pardon?
Both thing, result also itself and beginning also itself.
See, this is what the whole Zen understanding is. Zen understanding is different. Zen understanding is very similar to the Sufi understanding. The Zen understanding is an understanding where you are absolutely making no effort, not desiring, not making an effort, and it opens up. And there are Zen stories you will read. In that Zen stories you will find that whenever somebody just dropped the effort, it happened. That means what? They are saying that this natural state which you already are is not happening because you are trying to do something. Happening means what? Where there is no doer, where there is no effort. Understand the secret of happening and allow it to happen. So, from your side, you have to drop doing, that's all. Not to try to get to that state of silence or desire to go to that state of not doing. You understand what I am saying?
No desiring, and this desire also not need that if I drop desire.
That means now we come back to the Sufi understanding that whatever the life demands, you understand and tune with it, in harmony with it. That's all. So your personal desire to do something, to achieve something, to reach somewhere, to become somebody is gone. Now you are understanding what life demands, and accordingly you respond. That's all. So when you respond, there is a temporary mind which is functionary mind. There is a temporary ego which is a functionary ego, which is created because of the demand of life, is going to be there so far as there is a function happening. That's all. And when it is finished, this is finished. So this is a natural way of living. You understand what I am saying?
That means some consciousness and mind, when we detach from it, it itself goes into a witness state.
See, the consciousness itself is mind when it is attached to that area of knowledge. You see, the attachment point, when it continues, it becomes a mind. Right? So it is a permanent mind. So the attachment, detachment has to happen naturally. As the attachment happens naturally, the detachment also has to happen naturally. What we are misunderstanding, that the attachment is naturally happening, but we have a freedom to create the detachment through effort.
Trying.
Yes. That means coming back to the natural state of the consciousness, that means a detached state from the identification of knowledge, where you recognize yourself somewhere through the knowledge, it has to happen. The misunderstanding with the spiritual people is that the detachment can be achieved through effort. If the attachment is natural, the detachment also has to happen naturally. Understand the trick, how it happens. Understand the trick.
We are enlightened, but because of our trying, we are not enlightened.
That is what we say, that everybody is enlightened. When you are sleeping, it is not that you are not awake, but awakening is hidden behind the sleep. So it is not a separate effort to bring to the state of awakening. When the sleep disappears, the awakening is there. You understand what I am saying?
But then one point is, why just sleep come automatically? Natural waking also come automatically. In life, why this awakening not come
Because you are enjoying the dreams. The problem is you are enjoying the dreams. And if your dream becomes a nightmare, you create another dream. So you constantly remain into the dream and you constantly remain into the sleep. That is the problem.
enjoying dream?
This is the Maya. This is the Maya. It's all illusion. But we are all enjoying it. See. The moment you understand the secret of it, then the awakening happens, and then you realize that it was a dream. Otherwise, in the dream, you cannot say that it is a dream. It is so real. You see, in the dream, you cannot say that I am dreaming. But when you wake up, you will say that I was dreaming. And that is why the problem with the people who are sleeping and dreaming, to tell them that you are dreaming, they just don't understand it. They just laugh. The worst part is so many people are dreaming the awakening. That is the problem. Some way they started dreaming that they are awake. You see, and that is the worst part of dream.
Dream of enlightenment.
Because they heard about this, the awakening state in the dream. They create a desire into the dream to wake up. And they create a dream of awakening, and they are enjoying this dream of awakening. The one who enjoys the dream of awakening has no chance to wake up. Because the dream does not become a nightmare. The worldly dreams can bring you to the point where it becomes a nightmare. But this is
Golden cage.
it's a beautiful dream. Yes?
Excuse me, Kindle. You don't believe much in therapy or going into meditation, but you have given some clues, the Sufi way. I think I will start practicing it from now, accepting both sides, because I have no choice.
That should be your understanding.
Yes, yes.
You see, you observe the life around you. You observe the mind inside you. Observe it. And then understand by yourself that do you have any freedom to change? Do you have any free will to change? No. You have a freedom to suppress it or to go into the forgetfulness. That is freedom there. And that is where we are all caught into this game, All that what we are trying leads us either to suppress it or to forget it. That's all. And that separation point and the forgetfulness point looks like that you have controlled it. You have win over it. That you have gone beyond mind. But this is somewhere through some technique, you are successful in suppressing it. But then how long you can suppress? That's the question. It comes back again. How long you can forget? The means to forget are the material means, and means to suppress are the spiritual means, which is invented by the mind. All these techniques, which we call spiritual techniques, including all, are the techniques to suppress the mind. When you sit for meditation, what are you doing? Actually, if you look inside, what are you trying to do? You are trying to suppress.
Cool down.
Suppress.
Yeah.
Some fixing.
Yeah. Either through concentration or through observation, whatever you call it. You watch your thoughts. But in that watching the thoughts, the purpose is to go beyond it. So what are you trying to? You are trying to suppress it. You're trying to slowing down. Isn't it? So at certain point it is possible that you might be successful in going to that state of hypnosis. where you start feeling that you have controlled it, you have suppressed it. But it does not. The moment it is open, it comes back again.
When you said I didn't
Drugs and alcohol.
It's all chemical means. It creates somewhere a blood chemistry change, you know. So actually the science says that when you do meditation also, it affects your blood chemistry. It is all science, it is all chemistry. The chemical change happens into the body through your meditation practice, and that chemicals create somewhere in effect to your brain where you are into some different state of trance, you know, which you can bring through the drugs also. Yeah.
But it is not.
It is not the real state. The real state is a state of awakening, not a deep unconsciousness. You see, awakening means what? You are so awake, so sensitive to each sensation, each vibration that is happening, so much alive, not dead. And what you are saying is samadhi is to go into the dead mind, you know. It is not that going to the dead mind there, or to make the mind dead. Then it is a hypnotic. It's a hypnosis. It's a kind of hypnosis.
But when you say observation or disidentification, you are trying 8 times you forget and maybe 2 times you remember. This is also result of understanding, or this is also a method or device?
The moment you listen to me, when I listen to the Sufi master, I collected as a knowledge. Now you collect what I am saying as a knowledge. It is stored there. But the knowledge is with some logical conviction which you are convinced with. And that has brought somewhere a desire to experiment. Isn't it? Hint. So this experiment when you start doing, you are holding the knowledge. That knowledge which you are convinced with. Like so many knowledge that you are convinced with, you tried. So this is again a technique so far as you are trying to do it. So for that point, nothing wrong, because it leads to the right direction. You see. So I tried as an experiment and reminded myself again and again, though I forgot 8 times in a day and remember 2 times only. So the next week I was successful in 3 times. The next month I was successful in doing 4 times. So slowly, it took me 10 years. 10 years, not 10 days or 10 months, 10 years. It is a very lengthy process, and the part was, there was nobody to remind me. There was no satsang every Sunday. I had to remind myself. And slowly I was observing into myself that the change, the transformation that was happening inside me, which I was struggling hard to get to that point of relaxation, of difference in the responses to the life, the way the reactions were happening, which I was struggling hard to get through the meditations, through all that I was trying to do from spiritual way. I am not talking about the Osho meditations. I did lot of meditations, going to lot of different masters. I tried so many techniques and methods and path. And my whole effort was to get to some state where I am so relaxed. Relax means I am comfortable with all this uncomfort. I am in the state of harmony with all the disturbances around. This I was trying to get, which I was calling in different words. But basically, I wanted to be happy.
Tune with life.
Because with the life, I was unhappy. With myself, I was unhappy. I wanted to be happy with myself. I wanted to be happy with life. That happiness means I want to be relaxed with life. That relaxation inside and relaxation outside. And the relaxation means the disturbances inside and the disturbances outside was not controlled or win over, but something, a different state came inside, which was relaxed with the disturbances outside and disturbances inside. You understand what I'm saying?
Then life is a laboratory.
Itself is a laboratory. Your living each moment is a laboratory, is an experiment. And that experiment you do with your knowledge that you acquired. So this, what I am sharing, is something which leads you towards that point where you are not doing something in the direction of controlling it or possessing it or to
Special
achieve.
method, but whole life
Indirectly.
is meditation.
Indirectly.
Every minute.
That's why I am saying that I was so surprised when somewhere the state started happening inside, the opening started happening, and I was looking inside me that I am not the same. And not only me, but people around me started observing that a change has happened, a transformation has happened. So there is nothing that you call it a claim that I am changed, but it becomes your natural way of life. Then it's like you are becoming free from the sickness, the health starts coming back.
But if you are healthy, you can say, I am healthy.
It is not that you have to say, you reflect in your actions.
Okay, but
That is why I always say that enlightenment state is not an experience, it is an expression.
expression.
It is reflected in your expressions. If you are relaxed inside, with your expressions, your reflections,
Life
your
is
responses
automatic.
will reflect this relaxation there, that you are relaxed. It will shine on your face. You see. So this is the inner secret of it. So there is nothing that you claim, because there is nobody who claims. There is nobody. So what is the claim of any experience of enlightenment or remembrance of that day when I got it? I never got it. Because this I who wanted to claim I got it, itself finished.
स्वामी जी, इनलाइटमेंट जो है, आपको जो ये प्रकाश मिला है, ज्ञान मिला, वो मतलब रुक रुक के रोज मिलता रहा है कि अचानक मिला? इसका हमको जरा कहे।
जैसे थोड़ी थोड़ी आँख खुलती गई, वापस डर के आँख बंद होती गई, लिटिल आईज ओपनिंग अप and again closing down, again opening up, more and more opening up. At certain point it is totally open.
लेकिन प्रश्न ये होता है स्वामी जी, जैसे मैं आपको अभी देख रहा हूँ, तो इसमें धीरे से नहीं, आपको तुरंत मैं देख रहा हूँ, तो जैसे आपको कुछ हुआ या परमात्मा आपको दिखाई पड़ा?
परमात्मा कोई दिखाई नहीं पड़ता
दिखाई नहीं पड़ता,
है।
मैं समझ रहा हूँ, लेकिन बता रहा हूँ कि आपको
यही तो गलत बात है. दिस इज अ रॉन्ग अंडरस्टैंडिंग दैट यू रियलाइज समथिंग what you call Paramatma or Atman or Brahman, or it's all mind game, all words. There is no Paramatman, there is no Atman.
It is gradual or
मैं ये कह रहा
sudden.
हूँ, हाँ,
It's a process
suddenly
already.
It is like lightning. I give an example.
हाँ.
Lightning कैसे होती है?
हाँ.
बिजली कैसे कौन जाती है अंधेरे में?
हाँ, यही।
तो एक प्रकाश का एक चमकार हो गया और उसने देख लिया आपने कि क्या क्या है,
हाँ, फिर
वापस अंधेरा हो गया, वापस बिजली कौन दी, फिर एक जगह ऐसी आ गई कि प्रकाश ही हो गया. मेरे को स्विच मालूम पड़ गई, मैंने स्विच ऑन कर दी, लाइट हो गई बस.
हाँ, यही मैं
मगर अब बार बार बिजली की जरूरत नहीं
अब नहीं पड़ेगी, यही बात।
अभी तो प्रकाश में रहने की वजह से अंधकार क्या होता है वो भी मालूम नहीं है.
बहुत अच्छी बात है। लेकिन अभी आप कह रहे थे कि हमको डेली मैं तुरंत अपने को वो करता हूँ, तो मुझे थोड़ा थोड़ा और मेरे अंदर वो बढ़ता जाता है। इस नाते मैंने ये आपसे पूछा।
हाँ, तो मैं ये कह रहा हूँ आपको कि जैसे शुरू में बिजली कौन जाती है उस अंधेरे में, क्योंकि अंधेरे में रहने की आदत हो जाती है, और फिर एक बिजली कौन जाती है तो उसमें स्पष्ट दर्शन हो जाता है कि क्या है. पहले तो मैं अपने ज्ञान का सपोर्ट लेके उसी रूम में जीता था.
हाँ।
जैसे एक कल्पना कर लीजिए कि एक अंधेरे रूम में आप रह रहे हो, और हाँ, जस्ट इमेजिन दैट यू आर लिविंग इन अ डार्क रूम, and when you are living in a dark room, you have to take the support of the knowledge about the room, and then you live into the room. When you are living into this life in the darkness, into the sleep, you are always dependent upon the knowledge about something and using the knowledge to live. You have no clarity of it.
बैसाखी
बिल्कुल ठीक।
Just like I have a knowledge that there is a bed in that corner. I don't see it. I have a knowledge. There is a bed in that corner. There is a chair in that corner. There is a door in that corner. There is a toilet in that corner. सब अंधेरा है. Everything is dark. I don't see anything. But I have a knowledge. Before entering to the room, I carry a knowledge that if I want to go to the toilet, I have to turn to the right. I depend upon the knowledge. If I want to sleep, I will go into this corner because the bed is there in that corner. And I will be groping into the dark.
Wow.
I will groping into the dark.
Very good.
And the unfortunate part is, in that room, the furniture is moving.
मेरे पूछने का यही उद्देश्य था।
You carry the information from somebody outside about his room, and you are trying to enter into your room, and furniture is moving. So you carry a knowledge that the toilet is on the right and the door has shifted to the left. So what you do is you bang your head to the right.
वेरी बहुत सुंदर।
ऐसे ही हम जी रहे हैं. This is how we live.
इसका मतलब
We are all depending upon the knowledge that we
knowledge
carry
बढ़ता ही है।
about the life, how I should live. We are depending upon Buddha, upon all the scriptures. We are just searching our answers from the scriptures. We don't have our own clarity. We open the books and find out the map of the life, that how I should live. किसी ने कहा है हजारों साल पहले, और उसी बुक को खोल के हम आज जीना चाहते हैं, फिर भटकेंगे ही. Then you are going to be just all the time into this problem.
स्वामी जी, ये जरूरी है कि सूफी मार्ग ही सबको सूट करे या सभी उसी मार्ग से चले?
सूफी ये मार्ग ही नहीं है, ये तो उड़ना है आकाश में.
हाँ ठीक है, ये बात सही है, लेकिन अगर जिसके पास नहीं,
अभी आपके पास पंख तो है. The problem is that we all have the wings. Sufi understanding is not a path into the ground on the land. Sufi understanding is a shortcut to go straight to the sky, opening your wings and fly. And fly.
No path.
हम क्या करते हैं कि हम वो स्ट्रीप पे जाके विमान की तरह उड़ना चाहते हैं. हम अपने आप को, वी आर मेकिंग अवर सेल्फ एज एयरप्लेन, दैट वी नीड एन एयर स्ट्रिप टू व्हाट यू कॉल टेक ऑफ. वी आर ऑल बर्ड्स, वी आर नॉट एयरप्लेन्स. द बर्ड डज नॉट नीड एनी एयर स्ट्रिप टू फ्लाई. And this is where the problem is, that we have forgotten, and we just go round and round on the airstrip and come back to the same again. We don't go up. We don't take off. So at certain point you can go into some kind of hypnotic state and dream about taking off, going to the sky. Then you can claim that I got it, I got the sky. But the bird who flies enjoys the sky, does not claim that I got the sky. He becomes the sky. Sufi understanding is not a path. Sufi is not a path. It's not an ism. It's an understanding. Why I am saying this Sufi? Because I got it from a Sufi master. That's why I am labeled it to Sufi. But it's the understanding. It is the understanding. The same thing Ashtavakra has said to Janaka. Same thing. Same thing he has said. When I listened to now Ashtavakra, I said, wow, I was sitting right in front of Osho, listening to each lecture that he was giving and never understood any time. And when I listen now, he says the same. He says the same. Sukhi Bhava. It is your ignorance that you are calling yourself the doer. Just understand that you are not a doer, you are a witnesser.
समाधि का अनुष्ठान ही बंधन है.
हाँ. So if you have not listened, listen again to Ashtavakra, I would say. Listen properly. Listening to Ashtavakra will liberate you, will finish you, I tell you.
बहुत अच्छा आपने कहा। ये आपका निजी एक्सपीरियंस बहुत ही अच्छा है और ये मैं प्रैक्टिकली जान रहा हूँ, इसलिए मैंने आपसे पूछा। ये घटनाएं घट रही हैं,
लेकिन इसमें क्या है कि इट इज द श्रद्धा एंड सबूरी. You should have the trust first. Trust into the existence, life, and trust into the knowledge that you are getting from the person, that you are experimenting on that. जिसका हाथ पकड़ रहे उसका ट्रस्ट तो रखना चाहिए,
रखना पड़ेगा।
तो वो ट्रस्ट है श्रद्धा. एंड सबूरी, हैव पेशेंस. ओवरनाइट यू कैनॉट गेट इट एनीथिंग. दिस इज द डिजायर ऑफ माइंड दैट आई वांट एवरीथिंग ओवरनाइट. Immediately I should get enlightened. You can, but do you have that inner strong thirst? No. It is a desire, it is not a thirst. Let it be a boiling point. A boiling point. So this slowly you reach to the boiling point. You see. So this is how it is. When you listen, it sounds very simple, very ordinary, very easy. Acceptance is very easy. But when you start practicing, the hardest is the acceptance, because it is something which is against the mind. Mind is never accepting anything.
Death of mind.
Death of mind. Mind never accepts. And when you start accepting, your mind becomes absolutely rebellious. So you pass through the dark night of the mind. Very depressive mind. It goes into such a depression because nothing is left for the mind then.